Hey, good to have you back.
I gotta go.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Bland back in the building with another episode of the Shop Podcast. How is everybody doing? Another Saturday, another awesome, amazing show, bringing it all the way to you guys live and in charge here on the Shop Podcast. Man, shout out to everybody watching live right now. Make sure you retweet the link. Let everybody know we're live. Let's pack this thing out. We got a lot of things to unpack and talk about today, and we want to bring you guys along for the ride. So retweet that link, let everybody know what's going on here at the shop. But let's go around this panel real quick. It's been a long, busy week, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So we're going to start with Centurion. How your week been, brother? What you been up to, man?
Oh, man, it's been a good week. Just been sitting around playing some games. My usual thing, playing ESO. But I have rediscovered the Outer Worlds. I don't understand it. I played this game once before, beat it. I have bought this game and started playing it all over again, and I feel like I am experiencing the Outer Worlds once again. I have been an absolute blast just playing this game, and when you look at just how beautiful this game looks, and that moment when you're on the Groundbreaker and you see those doors open up and you see all the neon lights of all the different companies on the ship and everything, you're just like, man, this game looks gorgeous.
Awesome. So you've been playing a little bit of that. That's awesome, man. I believe it didn't get some updates at some point, but game is awesome. So shout out to you hanging out with us again, man. Missed you. Were you here? No, it was the 200 show that you missed, but
yeah, it was the 200 show. Back, I picked the good ones to miss.
No, it's all good, but glad to have you back, man. Always bringing a new element to the show every week, man. We appreciate you here, man. Let's throw this over to you, Stag. How's your week been, bro? What's been going on with you? What you been playing?
Week's been good. Just started playing that friggin' weird ass Blonde Wonderworld. I don't.
What is that?
I don't even know. I don't even know at this point.
There's a game called Weird Ass Blonde.
Blonde Wonderworld, and it's a really weird ass game.
Blonde Wonderland. Oh, that. Okay, I'm sorry. You screwed the name all the way up, but it's okay.
No, I didn't. I said it's a weird ass Blonde Wonderworld, and that's the name of the game.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
The weird ass part. You know what I mean? So, it is called Blonde Wonderworld. So,
Wonderworld. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. No, just been doing stuff and the things and living life, man.
Awesome. Well, how's the streams and everything going?
Oh, they're horrible. I should just quit. No, I'm kidding. They're going great. I'm going to have to adjust my schedule around because the kids are going back to school finally, but it's only hybrid, so I don't know what's going on at this point. I'm going to have to, tweeted about it this week, I finally gained some traction, and now I got to change everything. So we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Well, good luck going forward, man. Shout out to you being here again today, man. Appreciate you guys. And let's go and throw this over to you, Pong. How you been, man? Obviously, if you guys didn't know, Pong started a brand new show, I believe every Saturday, and you'll get to all of that, but let everybody know what you've been up to, brother.
Yeah, man, it's been a busy week. Thanks so much, PTK. Great to be back here Saturday night with all you fine gentlemen. Obviously, a highlight of every week for me and chat. Thank you all for coming out. You guys are looking awesome. As PTK said, had my first episode with my brother from another, Steel Rain. We started our own show every Saturday morning called Living Split Screen. So we just had our first episode this morning. We had a great turnout. This community is absolutely amazing. Every day I'm in it, it surprises me more and more. And I could not be more appreciative of everybody who decided to show up and anybody who wants to go watch it. Living Split Screen, all one word, double capital S's. But man, it was a great show. It was a great way to start off a Saturday morning, and now I get to finish my Saturday night here with you guys and the chat, and we got some great topics. So, man, I'm pumped. If you can't tell, I'm pretty hyped still.
Yeah, man, you already got warmed up, and you're good to go, man. So yeah, shout out to you once again, everybody. Please check out the podcast. Please do me a favor if you're a fan here. Do me a favor, go check that show out as well. Shout out to Steel Rain as well. Awesome gamer in the community doing big things. So shout out to you, him as well. So last but not least, Mr. Fuzzy Belvedere. Nothing needs to be said when Fuzz is up to talk. But go ahead, Fuzz. What you been up to, man? What you been playing, brother?
My usual, my go-tos, Division 2 and Forza Horizon 4. Just been enjoying the season change, although not as big of a fan of the winter season, but it is what it is. Got the latest car from this week's challenges, but man, the busy season at regular job, yeah, that's picking up. So it's warming up and things, quote unquote, fingers crossed, hopefully return to normal here soon. So yeah, it's just doing good. But yeah, got a lot of topics to get into. So yeah, let's get it.
Well, let's dive in.
Hey,
Everybody.
PTK.
Yeah, what's up?
Real
What's
quick,
up?
I wanted to say one thing, man. I feel like Fuzzy's the guy that secretly has, like, you remember that guy that went out to their garage that climbed in their like car simulator to play Forza? I feel like that's Fuzzy. Like, he goes out to the garage, puts the driving gloves on, climbs into his like cockpit.
I was almost that guy at one point when I used to take my cars to the track. I would even reuse my old racing helmet. Like I started to do that and started looking at eBay at race cars so I could cut it up and have like an actual simulator to sit in. And the look from the wife wasn't too welcoming. So it was like,
she wasn't feeling that, not at all.
Yeah, let me hold off right there. But yeah, I got the racing seat, I got the wheel stand and everything, but yeah, I'm gonna hold off on the little cockpit simulator type of setup for a while.
Fuzzy,
Awesome.
Fuzzy, how many times have you watched Ford versus Ferrari from that seat? Come on now.
Ooh, quite a few.
I'm just saying, I see him in the mirror getting all dressed up like Tom Cruise from Top Gun before he gets in that thing.
Oh, Fuzz, too much, man. Fuzz is a car race lover, man, for sure. So shout out to you, Fuzz, always being here every single week, man. So once again, guys, retweet the link, subscribe if you have not already. Let everybody know the Shop Podcast is live. Hit that bell, that way you guys are notified when the Shop Podcast is live, as well as I drop individual videos. So let's go ahead and just get started, man. So once again, poll of the week to start the show, as we do every single week on Twitter. All of that information down below. So follow me on Twitter to find that poll of the week every Monday. Then we talk about it here today on the show. So poll of the week this week was with recent news of Sony shutting down old game servers. Do you think they missed the boat on BC backwards compatible and its benefits as options on console? So obviously it was an overwhelming. So shout out to everybody who voted. Overwhelming yes, like 97% said yes, essentially to that question, and then 3% no. So this wasn't even close as far as when I was thinking about the question. I thought it would be a bit more split, but that is not the case. So we'll start with you on this one, actually, Fuzz, since you closed last. We'll start with you on this one. What do you think? You feel like Sony missed the boat on that at one point? They did say they didn't think it was possible. Then I believe they even said, based on a survey, that their consumer base doesn't play very many BC games. So seeing how Game Pass is what it is, because Game Pass wouldn't be what it is without backwards compatibility. That is absolutely a big part of Game Pass, having backwards compatibility. So go ahead and.
Yeah, for me, I was originally a PlayStation guy, more so from like the PS3. So the transition from PS3 to PS4 was kind of a sore spot to some extent, because the original PS3 I bought had backwards compatibility with PS2 and I think PS1 games, like a small selection of them. And then they patched that out. And I wound up getting the one with the larger hard drive later because the whole hard drive situation where some of the Capcom saves wouldn't transfer and whatnot was an issue. But got a later PS3, lost access to my PS1 games, although I still have my PS1. Skip PS2 mainly for PC, but I'm one of those guys that was still leaving my PS3 hooked up to play what was it called, Storm Island or Motorstorm. I'm sorry, Motorstorm and like Resistance Fall of Man and things like that. Yeah, you can get them on PS now to some extent, but it just seemed like it ran smoother, having it natively on the console as opposed to doing the streaming setup. But I think it's a missed opportunity. We now hear that they got some patents out there for trophies, retroactive trophies for some of the older games. So I don't know if they're going to somehow incorporate that for, PS Now or an upgrade to PS Now. But it just seems like they wanted to be the opposite, just to be the opposite, because I guess it was harder getting those chip games for the PS3 era converted over or whatever. But I look at it as a missed opportunity. I would much rather be able to play it on like my PS5 without having to, blow the dust off the PS3 just to fire up MotorStorm.
Do you mean they didn't want to spend the money?
It seems that way.
Well,
I guess they figured, well, we're not going to make enough profit. It's more profitable to resell the same game as a
But aren't they about the fans?
Well, so there's a couple things to that. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate, folks, and you can take it from here. So one, or they at that point even capable of doing it? With the hardware at that point where it's at. They did make the statement that they didn't really think it was possible. I don't know if they were saying that based on like the survey saying, well, a lot of our players don't even need it or use it. So, or do you just don't think they lack the foresight?
I think it's a little bit of both, because a lot of devs during the PS3 era complained about, developing for that. And I just remember like random things like Grand Theft Auto 5 looked quite a bit different on the PS3 than it did on the 360. There were no blowing flags or sails on boats until much later patch. They just basically were either missing or static. So even a developer like Rockstar having difficulty on something, I wouldn't say simple, but something along those lines, I can imagine the PlayStation group, looking at it as far as converting that stuff from that cell processor setup over to the x86 type of deal, and not seeing the benefit of doing so, considering a little bit of the survey, a little bit of what they projected in the long term. I honestly think they just figured, well, kind of like what Nintendo does, we'll just resell it. People will buy it again, or they'll stream it, because it's like, oh, well, we still have X amount of PS3, customers on PSN. We've already cut back on PS3 games with the, monthly free games and stuff like that. But yeah, I think a little bit of, misforethought or forethought on it. And on the other end of it, I don't, Microsoft being a software company, I think they're better prepared than Sony. Sony is more of a hardware type of company, whether it be TVs, cameras, or otherwise. So I won't say that they didn't have the ability. I just think that they probably didn't see the, like a diminishing return. It's like, oh yeah, we could put all these resources behind it, but will it really, move the needle? Make sense. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and throw this over to you then, Stag. Just get your quick opinion on this, man. Just, do you feel like they missed a boat? Just kind of their position, and obviously that shifted a little bit due to the success of Game Pass and how successful BC has been in this short period of time. So you feel like they missed the boat, Stag?
I mean, I feel like it's obvious they definitely did, and they're gonna backpedal on it, of course, because I mean, I don't know, they never seem to care about backwards compatibility, but they sure hell care about like remastering or just reskinning a game and giving it to you again next generation. I mean, they like to do that, but I don't know, man. Like, yeah, they missed the boat, dude. Obviously, people, you see on the twits, like all their little fanboys are like, no one likes to play old games, but then they're all playing Bloodborne, right? Like,
yeah.
And I mean, like, and they're like, they're fucking jizzing all over the place about it, dude. Like, how much they love it. And oh my god, it's like, wait a minute,
Demon Souls.
Aren't you playing an old game? That's what. Yeah, and then like, how many people are still playing Grand Theft Auto from like what? Now it's the third generation.
Yeah, 2005 or something crazy.
Like, I mean, so obviously, I mean, how many people are still playing freaking Super Mario Brothers, for Christ's sakes? People like retro is a huge thing. Like, old gaming is a huge thing. Like, people like that stuff. They don't just always want the fresh new thing. Yes, we do want the fresh new thing, but we also love memories. And obviously they feel like they missed the boat, or they wouldn't have patented that, like, that trophy thing, which I kind of actually like, because I wouldn't mind seeing some achievements for like OG Xbox games. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, but I don't see that happening. But it would still be freaking cool. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Sony does what Sony does, and people eat it up, right? So
okay. All right. Well, no, that makes 100% sense. So, I mean, they're I guess the counter argument would just be that their games do, at least first party games, do sell well. They don't have the issue.
Well, I mean, people like watching movies.
Well, that may be the case, but a sale is a sale. So
I know I'm just being an ass.
I know you are.
I like
But,
walking through the theater and watching a movie too. So
I get it. No, I understand. I'm just saying. I guess that would be a good, strong counter argument. But
no, their new games do sell for sure. And their games are good. I mean, shit, I got a freaking shelf full of them. So
yeah,
I got some on pre-order. It's not like I don't enjoy, what they offer. It's just, it would be great. Like, so I don't want to have to go get a PS3 to play one of the God of Wars, and I don't want to stream it. I would rather download it. You know what I mean? That's the one thing I like about Xbox backwards compatibility is you download the game, you don't stream it. I know the quality is going to be good and constant because I'm downloading it to my console and playing it from there instead of playing it from a server.
Yeah, no, I understand that. There's some particulars there, some quality of life things that I wouldn't like either if I had to stream it. But ultimately, options are always good, and Xbox is very good at being ahead of the curve with the options. And sometimes they give us options we don't know we need yet. Then we get these options, and we're like, oh, we didn't realize we needed this. So they're pretty good about that. So let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Pong, and just get your opinion, as far as Sony maybe missing the boat on BC.
Oh, yeah.
Their stance.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. I believe it was a missed opportunity, but it was probably a, obviously planned and thought out missed opportunity on Sony's part. They, just looking at their history, I don't think Fuzzy's wrong in the fact that they probably looked at Nintendo's track record and what they've come up with as far as reselling old games to their customers. And, obviously with the fanatical fan base that Nintendo has, that obviously gets a pass. And I think Sony probably thought that they would go down that route eventually as well, and would be able to do remasters or even just republish old games and sell them again. And obviously, when it comes to backwards compatibility, that now that we've seen a company, Xbox, do it to the extent that they have, and we know what went into it just to get it to work. This has been years and years in the making, and a ton of money, and
a lot of foresight as well.
Absolutely. Every little piece that they've done, when they've decided to go this route, they had to go back and figure out, first of all, if they could do it, how far they could go back with it, right? And then they have to put the teams together. I mean, we're talking about a ton of manpower and man hours. Just listen to Jason Ronald talk about the hours that are put into testing these games, right? That's just the testing side. So, that's something that Sony would have had to want to invest in. And I don't think they've ever been really interested in that. I think they probably thought about it. They probably saw what Microsoft was doing and said, hey, is this something we should probably follow suit? And is this something that's viable for us to do? And I'm sure there was some discussion there, but at the end of the day, just, and Fuzzy touched on it, the cell processor is an issue for PS3 games, but there's really no reason for PS1 and PS2 games not to be there. And people have done emulators for PS3 games. So it's not impossible, but you've got to want to.
Yeah.
So, and I just don't think Sony wanted to. And I still don't think they do. I don't think Jim Ryan's comments about old games now that he's in charge, pretty much is going to dictate going forward what they're going to do, right? And his offhanded comments about, well, I've seen the old games being played, and why would you ever want to play those? Oh, okay, well, Jim, you're obviously not a gamer, right? You're not one of those guys, because most people do like to go back. Yeah, there are some people who never go back to old games, but most of us play at least a few old games. I know I play a huge amount of old games, and they're not old to me because I enjoy them, and that's all that matters.
Real quick, on top of that, not only do people like to go back and play games again that they played before, there's people that have never played those old games that you
the new
might
generations.
capture.
Yep, the new generations. You're absolutely right, Stag. The new generations haven't played these games, and some of them do like to go back again. Look at the whole a lot of the indie scene is old style graphics, and people of all generations love it. It's not just the old guys going, boy, that brings the nostalgia back. I really want to play
you
that.
get like a first time player God of War. You're gonna be interested in that character and want to see the progression and go back and play those.
Exactly, Stag. You are 100% correct, sir. And so, I don't understand why they didn't do it, but they haven't done it, and I don't think at this point that they will. You know, the trophy system is a cool step, and I certainly hope that, you know, Microsoft is peeking over the fence and going, hey, can we do something for achievements like Stag said? Because that would be awesome. Because when I'm playing an OG Xbox game, I really wish I heard that little sound pop up, even though I'm not an achievement hunter. God, that sound is nice, and I'd love to hear it again. But you know, actually, there's some winners in this because if they're not going to do backwards compatibility, they shut down the stores, and I don't think it's been confirmed yet whether or not if you own the game, you're going to be able to download it again. Let's say your hard drive goes bad. So guess who wins? The people like Stag who kept all their physical collection, because the value of that collection is going to skyrocket. Guaranteed. Those physical copies are going to be huge on the market. But yeah, at the end of the day, Sony missed the boat. It's a good thing for the gaming industry as a whole to want to preserve the history of games as we go forward. And Phil has made that, one of his keys that he's talked about as far as what he likes to put priority into, and it shows. So yeah, Sony missed the boat.
Okay. All right, and last but not least, Centurion, man, we'll get your opinion here on just, where Sony's at as far as BC, and do you feel like they missed a boat with, with the potentially having something comparable to what Xbox has at this point, or is just, two different companies looking at things, they operate differently. They have different ways to try and achieve the same goal.
So I guess the joke I put in my head, Sony put the idea of backwards compatibility in the hands of the guy who helped invent the PSN network that wasn't able to change your name. So
true.
Did they miss? Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I'm one of those people that will point something out quick. I can't forget the fact that I know that literally the PSN network was completely built with nothing but duct tape, bubblegum, and some MacGyvering. And due to the lack of assigning customer numbers to people rather than making McLovin's 907 their social security number on the PSN network. Trust me, that's where I really feel like at the time Sony was like, hey, we can make really great hardware, as somebody said, but we have no idea when it comes to software. Let's just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. And I feel like with backwards compatibility, it was completely overlooked because at the time, retro gaming, everybody wanted more and more and more. I remember PlayStation 2, people were foaming at the mouth ready for the PS3 and the Xbox 360. We all know how short-lived the original OG Xbox was because of just how much people wanted to consume next-gen graphics and entertainment. But now, as we all see with the pandemic, retro gaming has had a resurgence. As we see, these new game consoles are hard to get their hands on. So people have actually turned to retro gaming. There's people out there I know right now that would not even think about buying a brand new Xbox, but they throw their money down on original Nintendo because that's what they grew up with and that's what they know. And so, yeah, Sony definitely missed the ship on this one. They totally could not account for the fact that they could never fathom that there'd be a resurgence in retro gaming. And all of a sudden, here it is. And now they're stuck. And I like how Shansu said it in the chat. They would have to pour an enormous amount of money and tech into trying to come up with some kind of backwards compatibility. This is something that Microsoft has actually been doing since pretty much, I think, 2013. Is that when back compat pretty much happened? 2013, 2014?
Not too far after.
It's really weird that like Sony just has no clue what's going on with cultures, like, because nostalgia is huge across the entire globe. I mean, not just in gaming. I mean, like in general. Cars first. Let's just go with cars, and like vintage signs and clothes and just, I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Oh yeah. Now we're also talking about a company that already called gaming niche to begin with.
Yeah.
So, therefore, when we're talking a niche, we're getting down a path here.
It is a niche market.
Right. But that's where you can't look at it as a niche market. It's a market. If you're here to make money, you're here to make money. Like, you can't walk into a market going, yeah, it's a niche market, I'm going to just half-ass it. It kind of shows. And so, dude, I feel bad for Sony. I feel bad for all these people that are, because I know Microsoft is still keeping the Xbox 360.
They're making a lot of money.
Huh? Well, I feel bad. No, I feel bad for
a lot of money.
I feel bad for the consumers mainly. because they're shutting
they're
down these
perfectly happy paying $70 for a game
right now. So yeah, man, this is a very, very tricky situation because I know Microsoft is sitting back right now and they're actually wanting to watch and see what's going to happen because they know that they've kept the Xbox 360 going in a very limited factor. I know when you go on the store on there, there's like no bells, no whistles. It's very, very, very like basic. So definitely, man, what more can we say, PTK? They have missed the ship. That ship has sailed. It would take a lot of money and time to catch up.
They put holes in that motherfucker.
Well, actually, well, you know what? Let's play devil's advocate though. While I was sitting here listening to you guys, we did find out though. I know it's on a very rando site. It's the only place I can find it. Some CBR.com. They're talking about that PlayStation's new patent is hinting at backwards compatibility. Apparently, they are trying to patent something that actually is some kind of emulator.
And I can't wait till they roll it out and they're like, their fan base is like, "Yo, Sony does it again!"
Well, didn't you hear, Stag? Dollar a month deals are now hot
For 3 days.
Well, they're going to be saying that
Only for
PS5
3
is hot.
days.
We're going down a rabbit hole.
No, they're going to go.
That's
Saying
what
that
I'm
PS5 is hot.
PTK is losing control.
I'm losing control. The ship is.
You had control?
Hey, PTK, we'll be saying that PS5 is hot because that emulator got it be running hot.
I mean, I hope they make Anthem work. That's all I hope. So
Too much. So you guys can see where we're all at as far as this instance goes. But I mean, it's an interesting question. Essentially going forward, we'll see where Sony goes with this. It'll be interesting to see as Game Pass gets bigger and more prominent, and things change and happen. We'll see where this all leads to. So let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Shout out to everybody watching live. Shout out to Zink. Just popped in here, brother. Shout out to you, everybody watching in the chat as well. So next topic is Xbox Live essentially rebranding to Xbox Network. Essentially, just what does this mean? Is it just a name change? It's a little bit deeper than that. We'll start with Centurion, since you ended. We'll start with you on this, and just my interpretation of the rebrand is that Xbox Live does still exist as a service. Obviously, with their all-inclusive, them having so many different pillars now with cloud, with Xbox, with all these other things going on that networks kind of make sense as far as a name. It's easier to say. Put everything under one umbrella. So. I don't know how deep it is from that standpoint, but we'll get your opinion and start with Centurion. So when you heard that, what do you think as far as what was your first thought of Centurion?
Well, first thought comes to mind is, I guess, from my chat with David Preen and kind of hearing a little bit about how some of the executives kind of think behind the scenes. Obviously, the network, like how you described, everything's under one umbrella. It's one giant network. But I also like to think that it's more than just the concept of all these things being under one umbrella. It is a true living, breathing network. You can go into this network no matter the device you're on, and you can engage, make friends, socialize. You can do a number of things. I feel like at this point in time, gaming, whether you're on PlayStation, Xbox, hopefully Nintendo ever gets up here, but with PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, these gaming cultures, these gaming communities are pretty much their almost own form of social media at this point. So this is definitely a network. This is a community, and I really feel like Microsoft is really wanting to embrace that. They have been very active in the community for years. Their executives appear on shows all the time. And so I just really like the structure that Microsoft puts off in Xbox, that it's more than just a sacred garden box. This is a community. This is a network. This is a family. Call me cheesy.
Okay. No, I understand. No, it makes sense just from their all-inclusive mentality with everything. Like you said, play together, play anywhere, talk to anybody anywhere, and we'll get in.
And if you got handicaps, we got hardware for that.
Exactly,
Microsoft has been covering their bases for a very long time.
Yeah, so just with that idea going forward, I think that's more so where we're at with it. But let's go ahead and throw this over to Stag. Just get your opinion on just the name change and kind of what was your first thought when you heard about it?
That I don't give a fuck. He's literally that's I almost was like, oh, he's gonna come to me and I'm just gonna say pass. I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. I don't even really, it's all encompassing, whoop-de-doo. I don't really, to me, it's never been like, oh, Xbox Live. It's always been like Xbox, you know what I mean? Even when it's OG or the only time I differentiate is like to tell people what system I'm playing on at that moment, you know? So,
Yeah. Okay. No, I mean,
yeah,
not much to say.
we don't need to dwell on
Yeah.
me. I mean, Pong's gonna go on for at least 3 minutes, so I'll let him have it.
What are you saying, Stag? What are
I'm
you
saying that I don't have anything to say about
Wait
this.
a minute.
I'm
I
pretty
thought
sure
I
you
was
do.
the chatty Cathy of the group.
No. You used to be. Now it's Pong's right.
Speaking of Pong, let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Pong, man. Appreciate you. So
Yeah.
just, your first thought, man.
Yeah, I snatched that crown away from you, Centurion, by the way. So let's see here. Yeah, with this,
It's not always a fun crown to have a hold of.
yeah, that's all right. I'll take it. Wear it proudly. So with the network, the big important thing here is, and it's in the little details. When they came out with this, people kind of ran with it and went with the whole rebranding thing. But if you looked at the actual announcement, it's a lowercase n, not a capital N. So a lot of people are trying to run with it. Oh, they're copying Sony again. Here we go. Xbox Network, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all that's garbage. It's a lowercase n. It's not a rebranding of Xbox Live. They are looking towards the future, and I think Jez Corden of Windows Central put it best. He said it's a debranding, actually, and what they're looking towards is the future and where they're trying to get to, or what they've already started doing. And what that means is much like Centurion, like you talked about PTK Centurion, it's an umbrella effect when they use that term network. A lot of companies use network, right? It's a general term, but what they're looking for is down the road, right? They're increasing their cross-platform accessibility with xCloud, with Game Pass being the platform that's going to drive everything towards the future, right? And into the future. So they're looking at, all of a sudden, they're going to be in the mobile space. They're going to be they're going to be in the app space on your TVs and everywhere else. They're going to be in the PC space more and more and more. And then you've got the console space. So you've got all these different spaces that they want to bring together in one, and this goes into, don't discount it, that if this Discord thing has been in the works for for a longer period of time, there's a reason why Microsoft, and I'm not talking Xbox here, I'm talking Microsoft, wants Discord. There's many different reasons, but one of them is they're going to integrate it into Xbox so that when you are playing in the future, or even now, we don't know how long it's going to take, but they are planning for that time when people are playing on Game Pass on PC. Somebody over, wherever across the world is playing on their mobile. Somebody's playing on their TV. And then somebody's playing from a series console in their house, right? It doesn't matter. They're going to have these people all playing on different platforms, but they're going to get that all together underneath one umbrella called the network. Overall, and again, it's going to encompass more than just that, but the communications part of it, that's what they're going for. They are looking for this one kind of name just kind of solidify everything, so that it's not all broken up, so you don't have a different name for the people on PC, right, or the people on mobile. It's the network. Everybody who's playing underneath Xbox, whether it's xCloud, whether it's Game Pass, whether it's on your console, it doesn't matter. You're playing on the Xbox network, period. End of story. And so I think that's why they did this. It's not taking, like you said, it's not taking away Live. We're not to that point yet. None of that stuff. I don't think it's to rebrand Live. It was just to bring some consistency to the whole, set that they have underneath this roof, right? And I think that's what they did this for.
Awesome. So I'm going to throw you a curveball, Fuzz, and I'm going to elaborate on this question specifically. He mentioned Discord, and I know we're not really going to dive into that too much, but I want to throw you a bit of a curveball. So speaking of Discord, and then obviously with, the mention of, Xbox Network and, where there's smoke, there's fire. How do you think that news possibly then being purchased by Microsoft and integrated in the Xbox, if it even happens? Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, but if it actually does happen, that serves a lot of purposes. That covers a lot of bases for Microsoft. So where do you think that goes as far as their overall network?
It's weird. I probably should have been more vocal about this, more so than like the Grand Theft Auto theories and stuff before. But when they had talked a while ago, when everybody was trying to do the the free-to-play push, get rid of live.
Which they
PC
did
players
do.
don't use it.
There was an update, right? So it is now free to play for multiplayer, I believe.
Yeah, they're doing the test in the rings or the preview program and stuff. So it's probably coming to fruition here pretty soon, or sooner rather than later. But when they first started talking about that a couple of years ago, before the whole double price Xbox Live stuff, and before Mixer even went away, I was like, it kind of makes sense for them to look at Discord, considering how they have a lot of like PC players will usually use that, or people on mobile will usually use that. It just seemed like a good fit, or a better fit, to kind of mix in there. I mean, get rid of Live, but now we have Discord, and they had the Game Pass Ultimate perks and things like that, where
the Nitro,
you can get Nitro for a limited time for free, or a free upgrade to it type of thing. So I jokingly want to say, hey, Discord confirm purchase, signed, sealed, delivered in less than 6 months or something. But it just seems like the way they are moving forward, the network name change and everything, it's the kind of take away some of that I wouldn't say it's even a stigma, but just the overall look where, console players are paying for a service that PC players don't pay for partly. And, possibly replace that with Discord or something like that kind of makes sense. But the rebranding aspect overall at this point in time, to make it, I guess, less confusing, possibly to new people in the ecosystem, whether they're coming in through mobile, like Pong said, or coming in through PC and stuff, it would just be a better, easier to explain or easier to understand setup, having that transition. And when they, eventually waive the fee for, free to play games as far as multiplayer or party chat and stuff like that, having something like Discord to squeeze in as a premium feature or an upgrade to, mix with Ultimate seems to make more sense. Yeah. But
that'll almost justify a price raise as well. Let's not forget about that.
let's not wish that
that's right around the corner. No, I'm just saying. Let's move on. New topic. We're off of this one real quick. I got hot potatoes. So let's move on to the new topic. So next topic, man. Shout out to everybody watching live. Appreciate you guys, man, tuning in. Retweet the link. Hit the like button, people. Appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with us. Always a good time in chat. Let us know how you're feeling about the topics, what's going on with you. Keep things lit in here. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the ID at Xbox event that just recently happened. Now, let's break this down, okay? So I did not watch the event live. Now, I'm choosing not to focus on some of the things that were immediately said about the show as far as pacing, and it was 4 hours, which is quite a bit of time for that type of a show, but I'm just taking the time to highlight the games, in my opinion. So that's what I'm going to choose to talk about. We all have free reign to cover what we want to talk about here, but outside of that, I saw a bunch of dope-ass games. I saw a ton of dope-ass games. A lot of talented developers there's going to be so much shit in Game Pass, not even funny. A lot of exclusive Game Pass stuff too. I like to see the balance of, the first party, the third party, a lot of just cool shit, man. A lot of cool stuff. So we'll throw this over to you, Pong. We'll start with you, brother. We'll start with just maybe some of your highlights. Any highlights out of the show that you liked?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the other stuff's been talked to death, so I won't say anything. It's been done. So as far as the game itself, like you, or I should say the show itself, PTK, just like you, I just loved what we saw coming out of there. And I've been having again, I've been talking about it. This is why it's going to be the golden age of gaming. People just don't understand the amount of content that is coming, and it's crazy. But watching this show, going back and being able to watch the trailers, yeah, a lot of things stood out for me. The first one being Astria Ascending. Okay.
The JRPG. Right? It looks like Octopath Traveler is the kind of the 2D, 3D kind of
Dragon's Crown. Do you remember Dragon's Crown from Atlas?
No, I don't remember that.
The hand-drawn, beautiful, gorgeous game. Just hand-drawn graphics. Absolutely fantastic with that 3D looking background on a 2D playfield. Absolutely gorgeous. And the veterans of the JRPGs that are involved with this game is insane. Who's working on it. So I am looking forward to that. That stood out for me right away, of course, being a JRPG lover. And it's going to be in Game Pass. Oh my, it's wow. I mean, what else? What more can I say?
You're not hyped for Boyfriend Dungeon?
I didn't finish my list yet, Stag.
It's in there. It's in there.
Is it Stag? Do you know if it's co-op?
I don't know, man. I hope we can play it together, bro. We don't need the game, man. If you want to meet up, let's go.
Is that before or after Lawnmower?
Oh, hey, wait a minute.
Lawnmower
Wait a minute.
Simulator?
If this is going down, this
connection now. This ain't the Pot Shop podcast
Oh,
anymore.
man.
if this is going down, no, wait a minute. We need to get some cameras. We need to get some streaming going on. Now we're making some money.
Whoa. Wait, we're not
TOS,
monetizing
bro.
that.
Oh, all right.
No, look at that. But apparently, you guys want to be locked in a room together. I'm just saying. I think we should just put
Where
these
did you get that idea? That was the worst idea you could have came up with.
Well, wait a minute. No, what are you talking
OnlyFans
about,
exclusive.
Oh
Yeah.
my! Oh my goodness! Hey, look,
man?
people.
Dude, we could have Fuzzy
Oh,
totally
look
doing
at
the.
my
What happened? What happened?
All right, we're moving up. Go ahead, Pong.
All right.
man.
All right,
There's a reason
okay.
why they live on the back alley. No, I'm playing.
All right. Well, now that we discussed Boyfriend Dungeon, I can move on. So we're good.
Boyfriend Dungeon is 12 minutes, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm just making
Another one that definitely stood out for me is Art of Rally. Anybody who does it.
Yes.
Oh man, I watched the Indie Gamer play this on his channel. He raves about it. Obviously, like Fuzzy, I love racing games, and this game right here just looks absolutely gorgeous. Love the style of it. It looks like it's going to be like an arcadey type racer, but it definitely has more sim qualities to it. But it's got that top down kind of 3/4
It's supposed to be
view.
relaxing as well, like a relaxing game.
Yeah, because it's
It's
chill.
it's some kind of, that's almost like part of the gameplay.
Right, exactly. And again, coming to Game Pass, and I'm not even purposely picking these out. I didn't know these were coming to Game Pass when I saw them. I was just like happy that they were coming out. But man, the value of Game Pass just keeps going up. Shout out to I could go over the big ones. Another one, Lost Oasis. MMO style
I
survival
didn't
game.
get a chance to look at that. I saw it
Yeah.
on my feed. I didn't get a chance to look and see.
Yeah,
it.
and they stealth dropped it, right? So it's in early access right now on Xbox. You can do an hour for free. So if you want to try it out for 60 minutes, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not the biggest survival guy, but I do enjoy some of them. But I didn't like Ark. Conan was okay, but it was kind of wonky. I played this one for the hour the other night. Sweet idea. Obviously, again, another apocalypse style game. What's happened is some major catastrophe has happened and the earth has basically stopped spinning. So one day is actually 365 days or 1 year now. So you're constantly trying to avoid the sun and that kind of stuff. But you get these cool land walkers. The thing that grips you is like you can build these land walkers to help you traverse the desert, right? Because everything's kind of basically turned into desert and rocks, right? So you can build these machines and they can be as small as like a personal one, or they can be as giant as one where you can carry 10, 15 guys on it, right? So
Yeah.
crazy cool thing. I played it for the hour, whipped through it, got one of those little walkers built. Was really fun. Actually enjoyed it more than I've enjoyed a MMO survival in a while. So again, it's in early access, but it looks like it's got a lot of potential. The big ones, obviously the Ascent.
Oh my God. That game. Listen.
Look,
No, we gotta pause for a second.
Look.
No, I must have watched the trailer for that game about 5 times in a row.
Yes.
That game, every time I see it 11 people made that game.
Yeah.
Man,
Stealing the words out of my mouth, PTK.
Whoa, small studios can't make good games. What are you talking about?
Stag, you already know that's not true. All right. No, but they you said it, PTK. Every time we see that game, it gets better and better and better. It's crazy. Because again, I'm as hyped as you can possibly be, but I saw that trailer leading off. I wish they would have done a deep dive with the devs, though. Like if they were
it would have been nice.
if they were gonna do that, I would have actually enjoyed the 15-20 minute deep dive had they done it
hell
with those
yeah,
guys.
for sure.
But yeah, that game really again stood out for me. If they've done all this delaying, I mean, I was hoping we were gonna hear another release date out of that one. We didn't. But if they've done all this delaying to get it to look like this, because you can see the improvements, even though it was already stunning last year, you can see the improvements in the little details with the explosions, with the particle effects, even some of the environments I can tell they've worked on and polished up. That
thing looks amazing, bro. I don't even know, like, I'm not even into those kind of games, but this is why Game Pass is so awesome, because I've learned to love games like Minecraft Dungeons, and it's kind of gotten me into that style, the top-down, Diablo-esque type games, and I am so looking forward to this, and almost as much as I'm looking forward to like any other like AAA game this year.
Yep, and I won't take up any more anybody else's games. I'll just shout out one last one. I have to, because again, he's a big part of this community, and his game looks incredible. Song of Iron, Joe. What he's done with Song of Iron and how far it's come. If you go back and look at his original dev diaries, single developer, this guy quit his job to work on his passion project full time. Man, props to him. What he's turned that game into with the different environments, the new weapons, the magical effects on the weapons. My goodness, that's looking just gorgeous, and I cannot wait until that hits Game Pass, if it does, or I'm going to be supporting him no matter what, so I really don't care.
Either way,
because man, that guy deserves all the success he can get. So that was another big it was great to see. And just overall impressions, again, we don't need to talk about the problems with the show. Overall, they dropped so much good content in this, and then to find out that there's over 20 of those games coming to Game Pass, again, the value is just, these are just indies too, and I say just indies not as a slight. I'm just saying this is like the dessert or the appetizers that you get for those big main course meals, and some of these are looking absolutely stunning, and I'm over the moon, man. Excited for all of this.
Yeah. So I tweeted this earlier as well. Shout out to IOCat, Chris Charla, everybody at Xbox and the ID at Xbox team putting in a lot of work. I'd argue they've been the most consistent part of Xbox since 2013. Fight me, I promise you. Even probably more consistent than just any other part of Xbox. They've been doing the damn thing for a long time, and you see the results. So this is awesome. So let's go ahead and throw this over to Stag. Stag, you play a lot of games, and I know I saw. Come on, I mean, I saw you tweeting about the games coming out of this thing, and you were super hype about what you saw. I know you love just like new shit. You love new ideas and just cool stuff.
No, Stag likes remakes.
Well,
he likes
sequels. Call of Duty. What are you talking about?
He likes sequels. He likes Madden and Call of Duty.
Warzone and Fortnite.
And I'm still mad they're not fixing Anthem. So
But no, in all seriousness, man, any highlights out of the ID event, man?
I mean, obviously 12 minutes. We've been talking about that for a long time. I was hyped when I saw that at E319, at FanFest, and I've been like, yo, give me my fucking game. I want to play that shit. And it looks like we're getting closer to that. And that looks really, really good. What the one thing that stood out to me the most is Loot River. Just because the art style.
Devolver, right? Is that Devolver?
No.
No.
Let me just scrolling down here.
That's not.
I'm looking at the list of all the games right now. Sorry, it's a big list.
It's Super Hot presents Straka Studio.
Oh yeah, Super Hot.
But dude, it looked so like graphically and stylistic to me, crazy. So much like Children of Morta. Like I'm hoping like it has some really good story with it. And then the puzzle elements really was like, whoa, there's gonna be some like super interesting ways to like
Tetris level stuff in there.
Yeah. That looked super freaking cool, and I don't know, this whole Moon Glow Bay, that you ain't gonna catch me on that shit probably. But Omno looked really cool. I mean, there was a lot of I didn't watch the whole. What was it 5 hours? I ended up like
4 or
because
5, yeah.
I was at the vet for the first 3 hours of the show, and I came back and I skipped all the stuff everybody complained about, and I watched like the first 3 hours, and I still haven't gone back and finished it. But man, there's so much. There's like literally something for everybody to play in there. I mean, from Second Extinction to, which is like you get to shoot freaking dinosaurs. Come on now, and like
Yeah, that thing looks crazy.
soup pot. I mean, I have no interest in that.
The
Lawnmower
super.
simulator. Like when
Hey,
I saw
let's get
that,
it.
I was literally like, "Are you really
We're
fucking
doing
kidding
it.
me right now?" And then there's old war game. There's a freaking deck building game. There's JRPGs. There's freaking turn-based games. There's fucking
Let's not
walking
forget the elephant in
simulators.
the room
Rust
as
is
well.
coming. Like everything you could possibly want, game wise, was shown in that freaking showcase. I mean, other than obviously like, oh my god, AAA's. Like when it comes to, I mean, I don't know, freaking dude. To be honest with you, like Exo Mecha. When I first saw that show up on the screen, I was like, wait, what did they do to Halo? That was my first fucking thought. Literally. And then
Free
I
to
was like,
play.
oh.
It's crazy.
And it's free to play, and it looks freaking amazing.
Yeah, hopefully it runs well. That's going to be the test. Hopefully it runs well.
No, so we'll see. But there's just graphically, stylistically, gameplay-wise, there is something for everyone in what they showed. Because I'm scrolling the list of games and like just screenshots of what games they are, and it's like, I mean, from like kitty cartoony to freaking 8-bit, 16-bit to AAA graphics to crafty games to fucking everything, Art Deco retro style graphics. I mean, there's something for everything here. I mean, it's crazy how. I mean, what the hell is that? The Big Con? I mean, sorry, I'm scrolling here. There's so much freaking variety. And yeah, the Ascent, we all been hyped about that for a while, and I cannot freaking wait to play that with people. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna have it better be really good to get me away from Outriders, but
Yeah.
Outriders coming to Game Pass, that's a totally different topic, but that's then there's this game. Seriously, can we comment on this real quick? I didn't even see this game till I scrolled this list. An airport for aliens currently run by dogs. Did any of you guys?
Something for everyone. We're gonna reiterate.
So it's gonna have clip art dogs in the game. Like what?
Yeah.
What?
That's crazy.
I'm gonna play that shit if it's in Game Pass. I ain't paying money for that, but man, like what is that? Like,
how about Void Train? Where you build model trains and go through stargates and fight space sharks in first-person shooter.
Dude, the freaking imagination and creativity that is in just in that list of games is amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I can't even. You guys don't even understand. This is. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're one of the few shows that consistently show love
indies,
to a lot of different games. To be 100% honest with you guys, and I'm almost excited, just as excited about what's coming out of ID at Xbox as I am as what's on the big calendar, coming out for the rest of the year. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I might even be a little bit more excited just because I don't know what I'm getting, and that excites me. You know what I'm saying?
And it's more proof to what I say and other people say, like, what's his name? This podcast, the indie guy. What's his name?
Oh, indie gamer.
The indie gamer.
I didn't want to say it wrong because I know a couple people with indie in their name. But like, yo, indies prop up the fucking industry. And if you don't think so, you might want to go watch that showcase and see all the games that are out there and all the ideas that are being thrown into games that are probably going to show up somewhere down the road in a AAA that, Activision or EA or whoever was like, oh, we'd like to try that mechanic or that idea, but nobody will pay for it. And then it won't be popular. But these little small studios can pop that shit out because they don't have a lot of risk, So that's where innovation's coming from for the most part is the indie sector.
I agree 100%. So let's go ahead and throw this over to you. Fuzz, get your opinion just on the event. Any highlights for you?
There's a ton, but I'll just go over like my top 10 gems because there was a lot to go through. There's so many good games that a mix between those that are on Game Pass and those that you can just outright buy in the Xbox store and stuff. But Ascent, that I know that's kind of like the obvious one.
Oh man, that
but
game.
it's definitely I've been looking forward to that for quite some time. I think of it as like a twin stick looter shooter type of deal. And I think that's going to be taking up a lot of my time or some time away from the Division 2. Stalker 2, I know they said that they weren't exactly ready, or they may not appear, but they appeared and showed some, some more artist renderings and things like that. So it's still in the works. It's still got some more time to go, but Stalker 2 definitely looks like it's going to be interesting, considering, Stalker 1 or the original Stalker was on PC. And with them being similar to the guys that made Metro Exodus, or like at one point, I guess, being from the same company, the aesthetic, the atmosphere, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Rust on console. So Rust is coming soon. 12 minutes, which I know they kind of waited till the end of the show for it, but yeah, that's a game I'm definitely looking forward to. I won't say I was disappointed where it just said coming soon as opposed to having a date, but I'm really looking forward to 12 minutes. No One Saves the World. That one where you could just change forms and you have like
that looked crazy
for all the different forms where you're sneaking around the castle and stuff like that. That looks like a lot of fun. They also had Death's Door. That was the revolver game.
Yeah, that's Revolver. Yeah, with the crow.
And
amazing, bro.
I'm sad that Tunic. I don't remember seeing Tunic at all.
Yeah,
but this one kind of reminds me a little bit of Tunic, but instead of a fox, you got a badass crow that's doing boss fights and things like that. So it definitely looks like that's going to be a ton of fun. Song of Iron's another good one. I always kind of think of that one as kind of like, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but side scroll. Graphically, even with it being a side scroller, that thing is amazing. Aerial Knight, I know the dev has been on like a few of the podcasts, been on the Iron Lords and stuff. Still looking to that one. I just like the fast-paced action, pretty much like a running, avoiding enemies type of game that's side scroll with some I guess like 3D or third person perspective once you go over some obstacles and things like that. The one that I didn't know about prior to the show that definitely caught my eye was Mad Streets. I always kind of like these, Streets of Rage type games. Yeah. And it didn't exactly look like a Streets of Rage. It's almost like a grown-up Streets of Rage meets Street Fighter. It looks more like one-on-one. But once you get past that NPC, I guess you move on to the next type of deal. So definitely looking forward to seeing more info on that. Being a Forza fan and just racing fan in general, the art of rally, that's a definite day one buy. Pretty much like Hot Shot Racing, when that was kind of like a throwback to Sega, like racing games and things like that back in the day. It has a little bit of that, a little bit of RC Pro-Am, a little bit of I don't know. It's just a good, like the coloring of it and everything. It's just like you said,
aesthetically pleasing, man.
Yeah, it's just I definitely look forward to that. And me being a rally car fan in Forza, this will be a nice kind of break from Forza until we get a Horizon 5 or Motorsport 8 or something. But let's see, I already said Aerial Knight. Oh, XO1, which I'm not sure if it's a flying saucer or if it's a like a frisbee setup, but it looks
it's a probe.
Yeah,
you're like exploring planets and stuff.
Yeah, it looks like it's on a relaxing like traversal through like space and different environments and things like that to explore. So it's definitely a game I'm looking forward to. But those are just, I think that was 10. Yeah,
that was about right.
Yeah. I mean, there was so much more involved, and some of them we've seen, like Exomecha, Omno, which is kind of like another exploration one, but it's more of like a character where I guess you have a wand to like teleport to different sections and stuff. I forget the name of it. There was a couple other ones where it was like
the list is
more
long.
like a pixel art kind of, not really pixel, but it was more like a blocky art type of thing. There's just 100 games. Yeah, 10 of them really stood out to me. There's probably about another 20. I can't remember the names of all of them, but I'm definitely looking forward to when they're on the Xbox Store or on Game Pass. So yeah, a lot of good stuff coming our way here soon.
All right, and last but not least, let's go ahead and throw this over to Centurion before we wrap this up and go on to the last topic. So Centurion, any highlights for you out of the event?
Well, man, what has not been mentioned? I will at least just put it out there that I will be truthful. I'm one of those folks that wasn't able to tune in. I haven't been able to really tune into the event. And when I found out it was 3 hours, I was like, holy cow, that was a long time. So I've been watching a lot of the trailers, reading a lot of the articles. You guys have pretty much mentioned all the games that I pretty much am interested in. I will definitely say I like Pong's reference. These are like the appetizers to the big main course games that we get just because of how much I work in general. I normally am the kind of person that is those main course titles kind of person. Lately, I have been dabbling in the thought of wanting to try some of these games. So I will say from my perspective, I am ecstatic, completely excited that these 20 of these games at least are going to be going into Game Pass. The Ascent, God, what was some of the other ones that you guys mentioned? Omno, was Omno part of the 20? Because now me and my wife were actually interested in Omno. Don't ask me why. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for a good platformer, and that thing looked just fun and whimsical. Call me odd, but definitely Omno would be one of those titles I'd want to check out. I have been totally interested in Second Extinction since I found out it was on the PC. I thought about buying it on the PC just to experience it at first, and then I found out it was coming to Xbox, and I thought I'd hold out. And now that I find out that it's coming out at the end of April, definitely that's going to be one game I see at least myself sinking a lot of time in. Hopefully you gentlemen want to join me on that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely, there's a lot of titles for us to be excited in. I like Pong's earlier reference. This is the golden age of gaming. This is just ID at Xbox. We know that Microsoft Xbox is now a major power when it comes to how many studios that are going to be producing content for us. And I mean, it brings us full circle back to what Pong said. This is just the appetizer, and it is just going to get bigger and bigger at this point. And I'm excited for what I saw. You'd have to be a fool to not be excited for something out there. We even had the Xbox deer soap thing that happened back in the day. Remember the deer that would headbutt the vending machine and something would pop out? I remember everybody making Xbox deer soap jokes all day long. So, I mean, dude, it's a great time to be a gamer. And if you can't find something for yourself, at least on Game Pass even, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's just so much.
Yeah, Omnu is coming to Game Pass, by the way, Centurion.
Yeah, so that don't ask me why, but even my wife saw that and she's like, "Wow, that looks like it'd be fun." And that's where I'm one of those kinds of guys. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'll come down and hold it down on Call of Duty any day. But if my wife actually will stop and look at a game and be like, "Can we play that together?" I'd be like, "F and A, I would love to." So, yeah. I mean, like anything that would get that my wife would want to sit down and play with me, totally, I'll take interest in.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you guys can understand from all of our tones here that, go back, watch the trailers for yourselves. You don't have to worry about all the in-between commentary and, the long stretches of, nothing. Just go watch the trailers. There's a ton there. Much to be excited.
I like how you're saying there's a ton, because there was one conversation I had after watching all the trailers and with my wife, she plays Sims a lot. She plays on the PlayStation primarily, Sims 4. It's all she plays. She's always wanted to dabble in the other games, but she sees this, like how extreme some of the games can get. You guys, she watches me play the Division 2 with you guys, Call of Duty, other games. And basically she doesn't want to get like that heavy into it. And when I showed her the ID at Xbox event and that a lot of these games are going to Game Pass, I totally didn't understand. I was like, well, why don't you just start exploring the Xbox Game Pass library and just start poking around there and find out exactly what kind of game it is that you are comfortable with playing and just start from there. Because, imagine being somebody and you're just handing the controller to a first person shooter and you're like, hey, go at it. You're not going to feel very comfortable. So I really feel like that's where indie games are a stepping stone for the industry, but they are more than just a stepping stone for the industry. They are also a stepping stone for the consumer.
No. Once again, indies are a big part of just gaming in general, and I think that's one thing on this show for sure. We always want to highlight because it's very important that we have things to balance out the industry. They always fresh new ideas, lots of talent comes from down there as well. So we want to show a lot of love to the industry. So let's go ahead and
real quick.
go ahead,
One other thing. There's not a lot of games coming out for next gen right now. So everything we're gonna get for a while is indie titles. You know what I mean? So like it's good that they're out there. And Xbox had their show, and there's so many of them coming to the platform. Granted, you can play them on a lot of these on Steam as well. But like that's just like PS5 and the Series 1, X and S. Series X and S. Drop the 1. They didn't make that confusing, right? There's just not a lot. There's no next gen games really for either of those consoles. You know, I mean, there's a few, but like at least we get some goddamn games with the indie stuff. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, one for sure, definitely for sure. Because I mean, as of right now, there's not a lot to play, so that's going to get better as year goes on. But till we get to that point, we're going to be playing a whole lot of those ID at Xbox games. I know I am.
Thank goodness for those filler games.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go ahead and move on to the last topic, man. We're almost going to wrap things up. It's been a phenomenal show so far. So now we're going to be talking about a game that we've all been extremely excited about. So Biomutant. More information came out about Biomutant. I believe didn't we get a release date as well?
26. Let's go.
Yep, let's go. So it's a game we've talked about on the show. We've highlighted actually a couple times. I say in the last couple of months we've talked about it here and there. So we're gonna be talking about some of the information that dropped. Just there was a new trailer as well showing some combat. Game looked amazing. Looks as good as it always has looked from the first time I saw it a few years ago. So we actually gonna start with you on this one, Stag, because we've been talking about this for a long time. So just seeing the new trailer, you actually got a chance to play the game. You've been super hyped for this. So where you at, man, with the new information and the new footage?
I don't even care about the new information and the new fucking footage. I just want the game, and you know that I've been super, super excited for Biomutant since before I played the goddamn demo at E3. I loved playing the game. I love everything about the game, and I hope fucking God it's awesome. Like the 20-minute demo I played was amazing. It was great. I love the ideas behind the entire game. All the shits. I love it. It's great. I'm so excited to play it. I'm so excited to stream it. Man, if you can't tell, I'm a little bit hyped about this game. Like seriously, this is one of the few games I've been super hyped about for like 2 freaking years, if not longer. I've had it pre-ordered since they originally allowed you to pre-order the game. Like as soon as they opened up pre-orders like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I had a fucking pre-order. I upped my pre-order to the $400 one. It was $500. They dropped it down to $400. Thank God they dropped it by $100. I'm all in. I am all the fuck in. And real quick, they're not filler games. It's just filling a void. I just want to make sure that we understand that I didn't mean that they're filler titles. So I'm not such an abrasive individual. I'm just abrasive here.
You know what? I'm Stagger. I'm glad you got that cleared up, man. I was actually sitting right here typing up my resignation from the Shop Podcast.
Good. I'm sick and tired of your shit. No, I'm just a lot of sarcasm, Froggy. Sorry if you take me the wrong way, but
no, it's all good, man.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like it's cool. I'm super hyped about Biomutant. It's gonna be a great game. I'm super hyped about that and Outriders. There's so many good games coming up. But Biomutant, man, that game looks like, dude, everything I've been waiting for a while. So I'm super excited.
All right, well, let's go ahead and throw this one over to you, Pong. Just get your opinion on Biomutant, just what you saw out of the new trailer. Like you said, this game has been on all of our radars for years now, and just finally getting a release date, knowing it's coming out, I'm so fucking pumped, man. The game looks beautiful. Just where you at on this, Pong?
Oh man, I mean, what more can be said than Stag just said? I mean, again, this game I had forgotten about when we actually made Biomutant a topic a a month or two ago, and we talked about it. I had forgotten about it because it had been so long, but the minute that they started dropping new info with that release date and stuff, I mean, the hype just came back again for all the reasons why when I originally saw it, like Stag. I mean, yeah, I didn't pre-order the big boy package, but you know what? At the end of the day, I am excited. I mean, this is fantastic, and what they showed, showing off more of the combat. It looks like they've spent this time wisely, and that they have crafted something. And again, until we get it in our hands, we won't know. But it looks like they've crafted something that is extremely deep. When it comes to the combat, they were doing some air to ground combos. You saw some of the elemental damage that you can use in it. I think they even showed off a little bit of the mech footage. So, I mean, this game seems to have it all. It's got the comic book aesthetic when with the different sounds when you hit people. I mean, this thing just oozes style. So again, animals doing martial arts. I mean, again, man, I'm all in. So yeah, no, look great, man. Look great. Can't wait till May.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Centurion. Get your opinion on just Biomutant. We've all talked about it many times on the show. So just where you at with the new footage, and how hyped are you for the game?
Well, I've been hyped for the game since I saw about it, read about it. I mean, definitely, I don't know if I'm as excited as Stagger over here. Like, I'm dropping $400 on the WoW. My wife would probably look at me a little corner-eyed right now if I was to do that. But
my
I'm
wife's
excited.
Also the one that drops $400 to $600 on Lego sets, so she has no room to talk.
Right on. Yeah. She doesn't do that. So if she starts doing that, then maybe I might. But definitely, this game looks beautiful. It from what Stagger says, it plays awesome. He's the only person, at least I've personally been able to physically talk to that's actually played the game. I've read a couple articles. There's been little trials and tribulations in its development, and that's one thing that's also is this like, man, this game's kind of going under the radar. Almost, I hate to say that it's under the radar because it's like the worst kept secret of gaming that Biomutant exists, and we've all been waiting for that release date. I just really hope that the community at least can somehow drum up a lot of support and I guess word of mouth for this game, because I haven't really heard too many people talking about it except for the people that have been excited and informed for the game since it was like first talked about.
Okay, yeah, no, it's something that we like I said, we ping pong this off each other. We talked about the game. It was a game that I wasn't really sure that I didn't realize how many people actually knew about the game, because it just felt like nobody knew about the game because it never was really talked about till I really met you guys. So it was ironic that we all just ended up enjoying the game.
That's where I'm noticing, like, I'm never going to point fingers. I hate talk about, that person's a casual, this person plays this games. It's just more like your social, your social network. And it's just like and at least the networks that I had, the people I knew, not too many people are talking about Biomutant, but now that you Stagger, Fuzzy, Pong Soul, number of others that just love playing a wide variety. I find that the gamers out there that really have a wide variety of games, like they're everywhere when it comes to the style of games they like to play. Everybody has stumbled across Biomutant. That whole thing.
Part of the problem with Biomutant and its exposure has been the development cycle.
Oh yeah,
it's just kind of like they keep pushing it, and then it just keeps getting pushed to the back of people's minds, and they're just like, that one, like, oh, okay, this game's never coming out, kind of a feeling, So, and I feel that might have something to do with it.
And I remember anytime you'd see a magazine article, you'd stop and read it. Anytime you'd saw a poster, something on a website, a video, you'd stop and and then after a while, you just like, well, is this game ever coming out? You read about it on the internet. And then, the stuff you read, it's like, oh, this game has been in development for a while and they've gone kind of radio silent. And now all of a sudden 2021 rolls around. I think they've been pretty much where they were like really radio silent till about the beginning of this year.
Yeah. They were.
And I'm not trying to nitpick. It's just like, I want the game to succeed. It's a very beautiful game. I don't want all of a sudden for it to just be like, God, I don't want to be mean in what I'm saying, but I don't want people to have an Anthem thing go on. Like where all of a sudden it's like, hey, this is what we told you were going to get. But because of some stuff and some things, this is what you get. You know, I really have high hopes for Biomutant. I want Biomutant to succeed, but there is that one like thing, like, why is nobody beating on the drum? Like, does anybody know if anybody has marketing rights to this game?
No, I don't know. I don't think anybody does. I don't
See, that's where I'm not trying to nitpick. That's where I'm just like, why is there like, if there's like, I'm hoping within the next month or something, Microsoft or somebody, PlayStation, God, I don't care, Netflix, somebody starts beating the drum for this game, because I mean, it's honestly a gorgeous game.
Yeah,
like this game looks like it's going to be absolute if this game delivers what is advertised, this game is going to be like literally an underground gold classic.
Yeah, it's gonna be phenomenal. And so let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Fuzz. Before we go ahead and wrap everything up here, brother. What do you think about Biomutant?
You gotta talk to Pong about it too.
Oh,
no,
Pong.
I talked about it.
No,
we're good. Yep, no.
Shit, was I just?
You were sleeping. You were sleeping.
Dozed off.
I'm watching
when
like
he
UFC
says Pong,
and basketball, so I mean, I'm sorry.
Well,
when he says Pong, he just pulls out his earpiece.
You're right. You're right. I gotta keep the abrasiveness alive. So.
I actually, that's what I was gonna say. He's over here calling indies filler and comparing marketing degrees.
Yeah.
No, but when it comes to Biomutant, really looking forward to this game. The recent trailers that they've posted really have my attention, and this is one of those I feared the worst, that it was going to be in like development hell. And earlier this year they kind of, like you said, came back from radio silence and talked about some of the boss fights and some stuff that will be filtering down the pipeline later on this year. And now we have like a release date. Fingers crossed they can hold on to it, but if the game needs a little more time, by all means at this point. But I think you'll start to see some stuff more, or some advertising stuff start to ramp up when you get to like the 30-day mark. So anytime between now and April 25th, I can understand if it's a little quiet out there as far as their marketing aspect. But I have to believe that just looking at the game from the colors, the customization of the characters, the different classes, the look of the character based around your build and stuff like that, I have a gut feeling that this is going to be a like a sleeper hit type of deal. Not to put it in comparison with like your Sunset Overdrive just because of the colors and stuff like that, but I think if people are fans of, like, let's say Monster Hunter, for example, but want something where you're actually the creatures, I think that will definitely be on their radar. But I hopefully in the next little bit we'll start to see some more marketing ramp up. I already see if you do a pre-order, you get a new class, with the pre-order and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But yeah, it's great to see that this game is coming through. Kind of wish the last night was another one that we could get some more info on, but this one right now, I would say I'm looking forward to it in May, and I don't think there's anything else really out there coming around that time. They've been radio silent on what do you call it, on Horizon New Dawn or Horizon New Frontier or whatever it's called. But definitely looking forward to Biomutant. Trying to create and I think they said something about you could be the bad guy or team up with the bad guys or something along those lines. So I'm probably want to see if I could do 2 playthroughs, one just going, Team Evil or whatever, and the one, the other playthrough as the Save the World type of deal. But I'm definitely looking forward to this game.
All right, and so I mean that pretty much wraps everything up. We're all excited about Biomutant. It's a game that we all been talking about on the show and looking forward to. So that wraps up everything here on today's episode of the Shop Podcast, episode 202. We greatly appreciate you guys hanging out with us, chat. You guys are always so fucking amazing. I will let everybody around the panel here let you guys know where you can find them at. But once again, next week, same time, same place. You guys are always amazing. If you have not already, hit the like button. subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Hit that bell as well so you guys know when we're live every single Saturday. But we'll start with you, Stag. Let everybody know where they can find you at. Once again, man, appreciate you here every single week on the show, brother. Let people know what's cooking up with you.
Nobody cares where I'm at. Don't worry about it. Just go to Pong. Man, you can find me on Twitter telling people to not beg for money. You can come into my streams and have fun playing whatever I'm playing with people. And sometimes we do marbles and we just talk about the world and life and things that are going on. Catch me here every Saturday, of course, hanging out with you guys, man. So, yeah, twitch.tv/Staggerilla. I mean, like I said, I'm going to have to change my schedule a little bit because the kid's going back to school. But, and I just love being here, having a little fun every week. So you guys take me way too freaking seriously, I think, in the chat. Like, I think they really, really do. So I'm actually not this abrasive. I just am here for an hour every week. So PTK like slaps me before the show, and he's like, "All right, man, get your game face on. You got to go be mean and funny." It's a real hard thing to balance. But
you guys don't understand, man. Every week, man, it's like every couple of days I got to send him something. Just
he's like, he just says mean things to me, and it just gets me amped up before the show.
I have to, man. But shout out to you, Stag. Appreciate you so much for being here, man. Let's throw this over to you, Pong. Let everybody know what's cooking up with you with the new show and what you got going on, bro.
Oh, yeah. Thanks so much, PTK. Stag, man, I appreciate you, brother. So thanks for being here.
I'm just fucking around. You guys know that.
I know. That's why I appreciate you. So thanks for coming here. But obviously, everybody on the panel, another great show. Chat, you guys are amazing. Again, we always say it, but we mean it. We can't do what we do without you. So again, thank you all for coming out. You guys were awesome. Obviously, you can find me Pong Soul everywhere, Xbox, Twitter, the usual. Friday nights, you can find me Xbox Ultimate with Mav, aka Fun Speculation. His wife.
Shout out to Mav.
Oh man, now we got a big old family going on over there, so it's great. Just more roundtable discussion than anything. It's been fantastic. But Mav, his wife Caitlin, we got 3-bit. Assassin Lupa is back. I'm sure lots of people in the community are happy to see that, as we all are. So she is back with us. We got Centurion, not Centurion. We got Psychonauts. God, I'm looking at your name, Centurion. Jesus.
No, I was going to say, wait a minute. What? I volunteered for what?
You better clear out your Fridays, Centurion. No. Psychonauts is now a part of our family. And just this last week, we added Lady AF, who just popped in the chat.
Shout out to Lady.
So man, we got a beautiful big family going on over there. It's fun. That's Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Central time. And you can find us after cast. We play games. Normally it's Master Chief Collection. Centurion has been there for that. It's a great time. Anybody's welcome. Then Saturdays, I start my mornings off with my brother from another, Steel Rain, and I, Living Split Screen. You can find us on Twitter at LVNG Split Screen. Again, all one word, capital S's. You can find us on YouTube, Living Split Screen. It's a brand new show. We don't even necessarily like to call it a podcast because it's bigger than that. We're just trying to bring everybody some energy in the mornings on Saturday. So if you want to wake up to something cool, we free flow pretty much everything. It's organic. We went way off topic today and talked about stuff that, again, we don't really schedule anything. We have some ideas, but man, we're looking to get the chat involved. We're going to take ideas from them. But it's a great show. Steele and I both love to talk. And so come on over and see us. We'd love to see you all there. We had a fantastic first episode today. That's Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern time, 9 a.m. Central time. And for all the European friends, it's going to be 3 p.m. UK time for you guys next week. It was 2 p.m. this week, but you guys change over. So 3 p.m. UK time. Then Saturday nights here, and then Tuesdays, you can find me on Boom Show, the Xbox Factor podcast. He's now extended to a second show on Tuesdays. He used to call it Xbox 101 because it was just him and Zemi. But now that he's added me, it's me, Zemi, and Boom. So that's Tuesday mornings, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central time, where we talk all things, obviously, Xbox. So stop on by and see me. You guys are awesome. Appreciate y'all.
Man, that man is making his rounds. As you guys can see, busy schedule over there. But shout out to you, Pong, for
How
Always
do you
making
find time to
be
play
here.
video games with all
Man.
those shows? Jesus.
Pack-
Dude, I make it
Yeah.
happen. I make
Make
it happen. Stag.
Dedication.
What? Is he done?
Dedication.
Is he done?
Oh, stop. Here we
No,
go.
no, no.
Put your earphone back
Here
in.
we go. I know, right? Go ahead, Centurion. That's on you anyway, bro. Let everybody know what's cooking up with you.
Well, I'm not as cool as Pong. I actually think that's really amazing. I had dreams of actually wanting to come in the community and be as like energetic and like everywhere. And then my job told me I had to go earn my paycheck and they wouldn't let me do that. So, congrats, man. That's awesome that you're everywhere. I also want to come out to Stagger and say that, dude, you're a great guy. We've chatted in the DM, everybody. Stagger's honestly a lovable guy. He loves everyone unless you're his crazy neighbor.
All right, you're right.
That's false. That's 100% false. But go ahead.
I don't love everybody but my crazy
I know.
neighbor. There's a
Go
couple
ahead.
people we could talk about.
He's like, well, I've got this. He's like Steve Buscemi with this list on the wall. All right. Anyways, if you would like to find me and my crazy world, I am sadly only on 2 shows. I'm not as cool as Pong here to be everywhere. You can find me right here every Saturday night, right here on the Shop Podcast. You can also find me on the TXR Podcast every Sunday night. You can also find me on my channel at Centurion1307 on YouTube, and also be sure to find me on Twitter and Xbox Live. Thank you everyone for being here, and it's always a blast to be here with you guys, man. Saturday night's always fun, full of laughs.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and throw this over to Fuzz to wrap it up, man. Fuzz, let everybody know what's cooking up with you, man.
Oh, just want to congrats to Pong on his launching his show this morning.
Thanks, Fuzzy.
Awesome seeing him this morning. Woke up a little late, but yeah, definitely got to catch the I guess after the first 10 minutes of the show. So awesome. Congrats to you on that. As always, love being here talking, our favorite hobby, gaming and stuff. And, like I always say, this is the highlight of the week when it comes to gaming, being here with you guys and everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for coming out. If you want to see some of my Forza picks or crazy takes on stuff, you can always find me on Twitter at fuzzy_Belvedere, on Instagram at FuzzyBelvedere, or on Xbox Live at Fuzzy Space Belvedere, and on occasion PSN at Fuzzy_Belvedere. Like I said, usually playing a racing game, Division 2. Definitely looking forward to some of these indies coming here soon. And that's all I got. Thanks for coming.
I appreciate you guys, and your host with the most, PTK Blam, on Xbox Live, on Twitter as well. Hit me up there. Just keep in touch with everything going on with the Shop Podcast, just the channel as well. Appreciate you guys. So we will have a guest next week as well. So getting that lined up so you guys can look forward to that. Just giving you some info early. Same time, same place next week. Guys, appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate the support, the likes, the views, everything you guys do for us here. Couldn't do it without you, as Pong so eloquently stated earlier. But you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great weekend. We're out of here, everybody. Peace out.
Later.
Wash your hands.